goes back and says, well, he's not here. He says, ask if there's a total waste of human life at the bar. He says, is there a total waste of human life at the bar? And he smiles and goes, oh, yeah, it's from me. Well, we'll get into this now.
Okay.
This one's
We're back.
You got to work on that whistle.
I can't whistle.
okay. So now, Jesus Christ!
Yeah, you need a
That's one
woman to do it for you.
One skill I never acquired.
Yeah, she can hail a cab. Tell me. I mean,
The more
tell
you whistle with your fingers, the less you can whistle with your mouth.
I've
can't
never
do
been able
either.
to whistle with my fingers.
You
Okay.
Okay,
Forget.
just- whistle
So-
lessons in 10 minutes.
Now remember, any of the movies, look below, get a link to the
And
trailer.
And for whistle lessons, go to our Patreon.
And you can go to Patty's YouTube
Right,
page.
yeah, right.
The whistle
I am
lesson.
teaching
Whistle-
private lessons for whistling
Whistle,
after this show.
whistle while you work.
Okay,
Yeah.
so our next movie
It's
is
a ref.
you, right?
Yes, it is. The
Okay,
Ref.
let's go.
The Ref, starring Denis Leary, Judy Davis,
Judy Davis.
Kevin Spacey, and Glynis Johns. And this is a movie I was, when it came Christmas time, I was so glad that we were going to do the Christmas thing again, because this is, to me, in many ways, a perfect movie. Everybody I know in my adult life wants a ref. When they're in an argument with someone, they want a quote impartial person there who is going to say, yes, you're right. And this is taking it to ground zero. The plot of this is Denis Leary plays a thief. He breaks into this house of this seemingly well-to-do couple in suburbia, and through a series of Rube Goldberg complications, he ends up having to take the couple hostage, and as a result, they have their ref in person.
Right.
He ties them up together, and both of them keep going on and on about like what's wrong with the other one,
Right.
and looking to him to say, yes, you're right. And all he can say is, well, you two shut the fuck up or I'm going to kill you. And it's so perfect. The kids in it are great. Everybody, Ray Barry, who plays the sheriff, is wonderful. I mean, this is a guy who I think he came out of the what was the company in San Francisco Mime Troupe, and he's put in performances in big pictures and small pictures, and he always just brings something really special to it. He's a terrific actor. Denis Leary plays
Denis Leary.
Denis Leary plays Denis Leary, and you really say, okay, Denis Leary is playing a character when he does his stand up and everything like that. And he did the Firehouse show. I forget what it was called, but it was a series they had on about firemen that was very successful. Actually, ran for several seasons. But this is just perfect. And then Glynis Johns, who by the way just turned 100.
Shut up. She really did?
Yeah. Glynis Johns, who was like one of my favorite actors when I was
One of my favorite. Yeah.
Like in The Court Jester, she was so great. She's just a wonderful actress, and she's perfect. She just lets it all hang out to play the mother from hell, or the mother-in-law from hell, both within the same character.
Same breath.
Yeah. And I don't want to give away too much of it because, the other person I have to mention here, because he's one of the most underappreciated actors ever on screen, and that's Richard Bright, who plays Denis Leary's flunky assistant. He is the actor in all the Godfather movies who should have been listed with the rest of the cast, because his character is as important as every other character in that entire saga, and he's with it all the way through.
That's right.
And he is, I mean, there's just one of my favorite bits in this. I'm giving away a joke, but it's like where Denis Leary has to get in touch with when he calls this bar to find him. And he says, is there this guy there? His name is, he has his name. And the guy says, is there a guy named like Harry here? And you see Richard Bright just going, and he goes back and says, well, he's not here. He says, ask if there's a total waste of human life at the bar. He says, is there a total waste of human life at the bar? And he smiles and goes, oh yeah, it's from me. It's just great. It's like that kind of thing all the way through. There's not a down moment in this movie to me. I watching it again, this is like the third or fourth time I've seen it when I watched it for this. It just gets better with every viewing. And Judy Davis and Kevin Spacey
I
are
love
magic together.
Judy Davis is such an underrated actress. I mean, she has been in so many things. I love her.
She brings stuff to every movie she's ever been
Yeah.
in that nobody else would even think of. And I saw her on stage once doing it was a Tom Stoppard play that I saw here in Hollywood, and she was wonderful in that too. It's just and Kevin Spacey once again. Like last Christmas, I reviewed Fred Claus, and Kevin Spacey was in that, and he was wonderful.
He's brilliant.
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey is, in fact, a brilliant actor.
How
He
much
is.
do I
It's
love
too
Kevin
bad.
Spacey?
It's
I
too
love
bad
him.
that we have to deal with.
He got acquitted for everything. So finally he can act again.
I can't wait to see him do stuff
After
again.
he went broke.
Yeah. Son of a
Well.
bitch. Oh,
No, he was,
I mean, it's a separate issue, so I'm going to stay away from that. But it's like the fact is, he got bum rapped.
he really got bum rapped.
I mean,
If you know the gay world, you know that's a bum rap.
he needs to do a Marvel movie, and he can count the money. He needs to be some superhero.
Count the money.
He count the money.
I don't want to see him doing a movie where he's counting the money. I want to see him doing a movie like
Yeah,
he's
right.
always doing
Like he's
because
always
he's such
doing,
a
yes.
goddamn
And-
good
No,
actor.
it's count the money.
What's that from?
That's
Mel Brooks.
Mel
Yeah.
Brooks.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's the history of the world.
Yeah.
History of the
Yeah.
world.
So,
So
what do you
anyway,
think?
I'm going to pass this around so let everybody else give you their
Okay.
take on it.
This is what I call a dark comedy. Almost Woody Allen-ish.
No,
The humor. It's really funny. It's like Denis Leary is great. I mean, but Denis Leary is Denis Leary. I mean, he's
He always plays Denis Leary.
like a top A comedian, and he's still a top A comedian
Yeah.
in this show. But Judy Davis and Kevin Spacey really steal the show because they never shut up. No matter what's going on, they keep fighting. They keep having their internal dynamic argument, right? It like doesn't matter. It's just, that's actually part of the funny. And I have to say, this is how amazing Kevin Spacey is. We all know Kevin Spacey is gay, right?
Mhm.
I-
Really,
I-
Sue?
No, but here's the point. I never,
Allegedly.
He's
yeah.
gay.
But I never,
Allegedly.
I don't think he
But who cares?
I don't think he argues with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's my point. I never doubted the chemistry between him and his wife. I thought they had great chemistry.
That's how good
Oh,
of an
yeah.
actor he
That's
is.
how good an actor he
That's
is.
how good an actor they both are.
And exactly,
yes,
I'd say Judy
yes.
Davis
Yes.
too.
So both Miss Davis, an Australian actress, and of course the brilliant Kevin Spacey, really have incredible comedic timing, which is kind of amazing because you don't really think of them as comedic actors. I don't think of Kevin Spacey as a comedic actor,
But yet he is.
but his timing
Fred Claus.
is perfect. Right? So I would say this would be a great Christmas choice to add to your movies. Like, this is bring it out every Christmas. It
But why
always
Christmas?
works.
It's not really Christmas.
Oh, it's definitely a Christmas movie. It's all about when they have the candles on their head.
I know, but it's not a Christmas movie.
Yes,
It
it is.
is.
This is a real Christmas
It's taking
movie.
place at Christmas time.
It takes place at Christmas time, and it's what happens with families
and
at Christmas time.
dysfunctional
Yeah.
family Christmas.
And it-
Exactly.
No, that sounds right.
But it's like they're the most adorable dysfunctional pair because it's so internal to them. They don't actually project it out to anybody else. It's just within themselves. And
And the son is great too.
the son is great too.
Mhm.
But like I said, you could have got rid of all of those people if you had Denis Leary, Kevin Spacey, and
Judy Davis.
Judy Davis. I would have watched that whole thing too. You know what I mean? They were the ones for me that,
Maybe.
they could have argued all day and he could have been the ref in all. Then it would have been like fine. So it was Christmas movies have to be uplifting.
And I just want to jump back in and just point out this movie was directed by Ted Demme,
Yes.
the brother of Jonathan Demme.
No, nephew.
Oh, that's right, the nephew of Jonathan Demme, and they're both gone.
Oh.
And and it's too bad because he really was making interesting movies, Ted Demme.
And he worked a lot with Denis Leary. I think that's why.
Well, Denis
they
Leary
went with
is just what I can say. He's a pro,
Mhm.
and he's great.
Nobody gets frustrated like Denis Leary.
I'm gonna say, yeah.
But you know how he's
I was
kind
just
of
writing
like
that.
he's like a Bostonian
That's so funny.
person,
Yeah,
and he really represents a Bostonian
yeah.
type of humor, which is kind of there's not a lot of it. You know, you think of New York humor or whatever, but he is just whatever happened to Denis Leary? I don't
He's
know.
still
What's
around. He
doing
still
now?
does specials.
Yeah,
Does
I
he?
mean, but it's interesting because he's such a good actor in this too. Because I mean,
Absolutely.
what he's playing is like basically the Denis Leary character.
Right.
However, you know, he goes, "I kidnapped my fucking parents." I mean, he just the regular lines in there. His frustration is so real.
Yeah.
It's just. I mean, he is a joy to watch in this movie.
He is.
Yeah, I agree. He kind of is the
What year did this come out?
1994.
Yeah.
1994. Okay.
Which
Yeah,
is
and it's
perfect
still
for that.
and it's still good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still timely because Christmas family is always timely. You know, it's always the same problems. Okay. Patty?
You know, it's funny. Why I asked you the year because, you know, what's her name? Judy Davis and Kevin Spacey to me make the whole movie. What's his face? What's
Denis
his name?
Leary?
Denis Leary could have been there or not because I think those two are that good. And that I love movies where it's so good that you can have a small space of maybe 3 people, 4 people tops, and you can make it interesting.
Mhm.
And that's what this movie does. I remember it, and I can't remember crap, right? I remember this movie when it first came out,
Mhm.
and I liked it. Denis Leary is perfect in this role, but it's really the other two that really.
Well, I think
Make it.
I think that all 3 of them, if you took any of the 3 of them out, it wouldn't be as good because they work.
would say that
they work
for-
as
I
an
agree with you.
ensemble
I would
together.
say that for you could not take out Kevin Spacey. You cannot take out Glynis. What's her name?
Linus Johns.
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
Judy
you're
Davis.
Judy
Judy
Davis.
Davis.
Yeah.
You could take out Denis Leary. That's
No,
how important
no,
those
No,
two.
I
No,
disagree
no,
with you on
no.
that.
Well, he's perfect for this kind of role. But yeah, it's a
His
good movie.
comedic
I disagree, and I'm
timing
gonna tell you
is-
why.
But I
When I-
never thought of it as a Christmas movie, even though it's at Christmas. What's that? What's that puppy?
It's the
Chimes?
Fire
it's the
alarm.
chimes disagreeing with you.
Oh, well, they're wrong.
Is that fire? I don't know, something's burning.
Lon?
Okay, yes. When this movie came out, I think I saw this 3 times at the theaters. This is literally, I said, oh, this is one of my Christmas classics now. I got to watch this during Christmas.
I never think of it as a Christmas
But
movie.
the thing is, I have to admit, I was a huge Judy Davis fan,
Oh,
ever
I
since
love
my
her.
brilliant career. And this movie sort of shocked me because this was showing you that she could play American so
Yeah.
well. That's the thing that really
Is she
surprised me in
British?
this.
She's
She's
Australian.
Australian.
Really?
Oh, Australian, yeah.
So, and again, I agree with you about Kevin Spacey. I thought, oh, this is an interesting movie because the poster alone is you see the 2 of them tied to a chair with Denis Leary in front, right? So it's like, okay, this will be interesting. And I didn't realize Denis Leary was going to be being Denis Leary. And like you said, that's what he's known for. That's what I think he's genius at, is that sort of slow burn that keeps getting worse and worse to finally
Yeah,
he loses
right.
it, which he loses a lot in this movie. I do think, though, that it was the cast. In fact, Ted Demme as director, I give kudos to him. I give it to Marie Weiss and that Richard LeGravenez
Richard LeGravenese wrote
as
the
wrote
script. Yeah.
the scripts. This is great dialogue as well because the opening sequence is at a therapy session.
Yeah.
The end of the therapy session, I laughed out loud. Period. That just said, that was like the most perfect therapy session I've ever seen portrayed on film, for example. Then you get to the family. I have to admit, Glynis Johns. Oh, and this is also was my introduction to J.K. Simmons and Christine
That's
Baranski.
right. I had
both
forgotten
in
that
the- in
J.K.
the-
Simmons was
in
yeah.
this movie. I mean, I'd
And
never
his
seen
name
it
was
before.
Siskel because he looked
Right.
like Gene Siskel.
Exactly. And the funny thing is I thought, oh, how funny, because it's like, I remember them only because of this movie. like J.K. Simmons plays one of the oddest roles, and yet he plays such a great, noble character.
He's such a good actor.
Exactly. Where he has that, where he says his own conscience, he has to do something that he's going to ruin himself, possibly personally and professionally, but he's going to do it because he has that character. I thought, wow, what an actor. Christine Baranski showing exactly what she was so great at, was playing that sort of I'm above kind of everybody, and she looked down on everyone.
Right. Yes, I saw her as a young woman here. I wish she was much younger here than I.
Well, exactly. Like I said,
her character
and I know these are New York stage actors, so I thought, God, they really cast us well. Glennis Johns being Glennis Johns, I thought, again,
I love her.
She had 2 lines that had me laughing out loud.
What are they?
Well, I'll just tell you one of them. You don't have the balls. I just lost it when she said that to him. She says that to Denis Leary, of all people. And then you're right. I think the young kid, that Robert J. Stein playing the young son, was good.
Wonderful.
And Raymond J. Barry, like you said, that and his group of I don't know what you call them. Yes. Again, the sequence where they're watching the videotape, and when he sinks, there's a sequence where somebody sinks down. You see one of them stand up and look down like he can look into where he dropped.
Right.
I'm thinking, okay, this is so goofy, and yet everything still works, in this movie.
It's true. It's goofy, but it works.
But you're right. I thoroughly agree what you had to say about, Judy Davis and Kevin Spacey. Their arguments are so real and yet so comical and so on point that even at the end,
right,
you're still watching them argue, but you can tell it's slightly different. And I said, that's how good of actors they are.
Yeah.
When they're arguing and arguing, they're arguing. When they're sort of arguing, it's like, no, you can tell they're not really. And yet it's just amazing. So I give it to the 2 of them, as being, just the great actors that they are. I just think there's a very entertaining movie, as long as you don't mind dysfunctional family movies, because this is the epitome of one.
Yeah.
And the other, I think, like you said, Bob, I won't mention it, but when you see them, because Judy Davis having to do her Scandinavian dinner scene.
Right.
Again, when I saw that, a laugh out loud moment. And I remember at the theater just could not stop laughing for a good 2 minutes. I just thought that was so hilarious. And it's not like it's anything funny. Right. It's just such a visual, interesting gag.
It's absurd.
Yeah, exactly. It really is.
And it occurs to me there's somebody else in there I want to point out, and that is the actor who plays Christine Baranski's husband, Adam Lefebvre.
Adam Lefebvre, yeah.
He's one of the Secaucus 7.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that means.
The movie, The Return of the Secaucus 7, the first John Sayles movie about there was like the big chill ripped off.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Mira, that's him.
Do
You're
that
going
again?
to see him.
Oh,
well, it's another movie. And I'll have to find it and watch it and bring it in as a review. But it's a terrific movie. Yeah.
George? Yeah, I actually really enjoyed this movie too. I was cracking up from the opening scene where they're the therapist too, and I really there was quite a few scenes where I was on the floor laughing too.
Mm-hmm.
The one scene with when they're looking at the footage of the burglar, and they have him, and he's recording. They're recording some kind of I don't know spoiler about something. I think with a couple's kissing or something. Some kind of they're watching it now. They're all into it, and then when he plays back, I was cracking up. Actually, I thought Denis Leary had to be in it, going with the argument with you with that, because this couple, they're always arguing
they're so
much.
Fucked up.
They're always bickering.
And Denis Leary, that's how the always annoyed character personality. I mean, now imagine somebody that gets annoyed. You can see it. He's somebody that's going to be annoyed, like in this situation.
Exactly.
And he ends up with this couple who are just, to him, will be like so annoying, and they're arguing in the relationship is to the point that they argue that they are unaware of their surroundings, so that so
right.
they could be. I mean, they so they could be they're hijacked or whatever, and it's almost non-existent around them.
Right.
They just want to argue with each other. So he's has them, what do you call it, hijacked or whatever.
Right.
Kidnapped.
Yeah, with the kid going, please take me with you.
Yeah, exactly. He has them kidnapped, and it almost doesn't affect them because they argue so much, and he can sense that it doesn't affect them. It's like like somebody like no matter what I do, it's like a bark or like a dog barking. It doesn't affect these people because they hate each other so much, they argue so much. So that's why it was a perfect contrast. You know, their relationship was a great contrast to his personality. You know, the kid.
Irritated.
I like the kid too because he's such a crook. You know, that's why he's like, you know, he's about to be gonna be like him. And I too was surprised when I saw J.K. Simmons. Oh, hey, it's J.K. Simmons. I never seen him so young. So and then also he's and that. So yeah, I actually really enjoyed the movie. Had quite a lot of moments I was cracking up.
Shall we score?
So that would be me. I give it a 10.
I give it an 8.
Wow. I gave it 7.
Holy shit!
I give it a
Mom
9.
gave
It's
it
a classic.
7.
Okay.
I just no wait. Hold on. I'm just trying.
No. You don't
No,
get one. You don't
there,
get
there
any.
was something that. Yeah, I forget.
A scene? Was it a scene?
Okay, Sue, hit it.
There's so many great things about this movie. You should
Just
really check
watch
it
Oh,
out.
that's. I mean, this stands to me with any classic comic, any classic American
It
comedy.
does.
So watch this movie. You will love it.
And
Even though he won't give a score to
and
it.
Kevin Spacey, his dryness to things, you know, like
I love
Yeah.
him.
he's almost like he'd be like a guy like you could like, you know, cut his arm off and he won't feel it. It's like, why are you doing that to me? So no matter what you do, this person's not affected. He's perfect for that.
Which drives the other person.
Which would drive
nuts.
somebody else nuts. That's what that one made it so perfect.
From the women's side.
Okay, so
so-
we're
So we'll be back.
we'll be back.